Okay, good morning students. So let us see today the mechanism of breathing. Already you have seen the structure of respiratory system, and in the respiratory system from the nostrils to lungs, trachea, tracheoles, bronchi, bronchio, lastly bronchi and bronchioles are entering into a sac-like structure lungs. One of the small sac here I am showing, that is the alveolus. So one small, like this, total lung is divided in the alveolus structures. Inside this, the tracheoles, small tubes of the trachea enters, and when they enter, what do they? Breathing is what? Actually breathing is exhalation and inhalation, taking air, fresh air inside and sending out foul air outside. Okay, this is the process, inhalation and exhalation. We will see detailed. And what structures take place for this breathing mechanism? One is the rib or chest and muscles. So first two things I will show you: ribs or chest and muscles. If you see here this diagram, here this is the rib cage, this is the rib cage. In this rib cage, this is the sternum, okay, and this is backbone. This is the rib cage and this is the sternum, this is backbone and ribs. And first of all, for that mechanism, one is the ribs and rib cage, and inside this these lungs are. And next one, second structure which takes place in the inhalation exhalation, are muscles are there. If you see here, stripes like that, internally some stripes, externally some stripes. So they are called the muscles which are attached to the ribs. So that muscles are called external intercostal muscles, internal intercostal muscles. External intercostal muscles inside that, but outside to the ribs of the outside. Internal to the inside of the ribs. Internal intercostal muscles, external intercostal muscles. So here I am showing for the breathing mechanism two structures. One is the rib cage, ribs, and second is the muscles, intercostal muscles. So two structures already I showed you. So what are the two structures? Rib, chest muscles I showed you, ribs I showed you, and third is the diaphragm. All of you know that diaphragm is attached to the, diaphragm is attached to the, near the lungs it is there, okay. So actually diaphragm, a sheet, it is a sheet of tissue and which runs across your body below the ribs. Means below the ribs one tissue layer is there, that is the diaphragm, okay. And because of the diaphragm, what will do the diaphragm? It around the edge of it, or it is strong muscles. A diaphragm helps in the strong muscles movement. When the diaphragm muscles are relaxed, means diaphragm whatever tissue muscles are relaxed, what will happen? The ribs, the lungs, alveoli and lungs, it makes a dome shape, pulling down like that. When diaphragm muscles contract, means they become smaller, then they pull the diaphragm flat, okay. And as I told you, two sets of muscles are there, intercostal muscles and external. So now let us see inhalation or inspiration. So what is the process of inhalation? This is a alveolus, this you see small sac-like structure one. So it is a process of intaking of fresh atmospheric air. See, this is fresh atmospheric air content. So this actually here simply diffusion process. What is the diffusion process? Depending upon the concentration gradient. So whatever air is coming from the outside to inside, what is more? Outside to inside coming air, oxygen percentage is more, okay. Now this alveolus is surrounded by blood capillaries. If you see this one, capillary, okay, inside the blood capillary, RBC cells, hemoglobin cells are there. So this is the blood capillaries which are surrounded the alveoli, okay, thin epithelium. This is the epithelial layer. You see here, this is the capillary and this is the pulmonary artery, which is artery having the blood, RBC blood, okay. Now this is the epithelium of the alveolus, okay, and some moisture also will be there in the lungs, okay. Now when air enters into this alveolus sac, oxygen rich one. So what is inhalation? Means process of intaking of fresh air into the lung alveolus. Okay, what does it involves? Inhalation involves contraction of respiratory muscles. Okay, contraction of respiratory muscles. Respiratory muscles, as I showed you, the muscles, they contract with the help of, it is an active process. Contraction of muscles, respiratory muscles, active process. It is not simple mechanism. Active process means it uses ATP energy. Okay, so contraction of respiratory muscles, when it takes place, what will happen? Diaphragm is lowered and becomes flat. So this diagram I wanted to show you. Okay, this diagram. First one, diaphragm is lowered and becomes flat. And second is the ribs move upward. Now even it is a recording video also, small exercise. When you are listening to this video, you do once. First of all, inhale maximum air and hold. When you are inhaling, I am also doing for you. When you are inhaling, observe what is happening. What is happening? When you are inhaling, your rib cage is going up. Do you feel or not? When you are inhaling, ribs move upward and as if they are coming friend, upward and outward, moving up. Take oxygen, air inside. Then the ribs are move upward and just outward also. Okay. When the diaphragm is lowered, the diaphragm is here, you see diaphragm. Okay, when lowered, see when diaphragm is lowered, it is pulling down. This is another case. This is another case. This is the movement you can see here. Inspiration, muscles contract, making the thoracic volume larger. So here diaphragm lowered and becomes flat. The ribs move upward and outward. So what happens because of this movement? Thoracic cavity increases. Okay, thoracic cavity increases in all the directions. Then what will happen? Then the thoracic cavity increases means air will increase, then all the directions, which causes expansion of the lungs and increases the air pressure. Then inside the lungs, air pressure inside the lungs, it will be increasing if you compare to the outside atmospheric air pressure. Okay. So for this purpose, what will happen? To equalize the pressure from outside to inside, the fresh air rushes means are coming inside to the lungs. Fresh air is coming into the lungs. Here you see intercostal muscles contract, pulling the rib cage and sternum, this one, up and outward. See, this is intercostal muscles contract and pulling rib cage up, means you are taking inside, and sternum up and outward, and diaphragm contracts, means if you see this diagram, and moves downward flat, then air comes, then air will become bigger. I'll show you small thing. Suppose if you see, suppose this is the lung like that, if it is pulling down, flatting, making, this is, if you imagine diaphragm, it is pulling down, then this volume increases. Okay, if it is like this, it is taking place, the volume of the lung will decrease. Okay, so now what happened? That is the case here. So fresh atmospheric air into the lungs alveoli. So suppose air has to come inside the lungs, what has to take place? Diaphragm is lowered and flat, becomes flat, as I showed you this diagram, and ribs upward. Now you felt that when you are intaking the air, ribs are moving up and outward. Because of this, what will happen? Thoracic cavity increases. This is increasing. So you see, this is increasing, this is decreasing. Increases. Then what will happen? The pressure inside the expansion of the lungs, and that decreases the air pressure, and which inside the lungs compared to the atmospheric pressure. Then to make outside and inside the lungs pressure equal, what will happen? The fresh air comes into the lungs through the respiratory tract. Through the respiratory tract means starts from the nostrils, and from the nostrils slowly trachea like that, bronchi like that. Okay, respiratory tract, and this is called inspiration. This is called inspiration. So what are the main two steps for the inspiration? Diaphragm is lowered and becomes flat, and ribs move upward and outward, and because of that, and muscles move. So three things has to take place here: rib cage, muscles, diaphragm. This action makes what? It makes inhalation. Just like what are the conditions made inhalation, opposite conditions for the exhalation. Okay, now exchange of air and carbon dioxide of blood becomes at the alveoli. Here in the alveoli, this one, blood also there and air also there. Blood means side, this one what I showed you previous diagram. Once more this I will show you. And exhalation, air becomes okay, exchange I will tell you afterwards. Exhalation means opposite to inspiration. Exhalation or expiration. Exhalation or expiration. What will happen? A process expelling the foul air from the lungs. Carbon dioxide air has to go out. Okay, and it is normal process. Now you see one thing. You do again one exercise. You have taken deep breath, means air inside. Then you feel the rib cage. What is happening? Rib cage is coming out. Now slowly you leave air slowly outside. Then you feel, if you do really that, you feel that rib cage is coming down. Rib cage is coming down. When it is coming down, so three things, no, exhalation or inspiration: rib cage, muscles, and diaphragm. So rib cage is slowly coming down, and it is no, just coming inside. That is relaxation. Okay, when relaxation means muscles also relaxing. And that, what does it mean? The steps are notes. Please carefully see the notes. First is diaphragm raised up and becomes dome shaped. Diaphragm is pulling up. Okay, then as I showed you here, diaphragm is pulling up. Then slowly the slowly it becomes smaller. Diaphragm is raised and becomes dome shape, and ribs move inward. Ribs move inward and downward. Ribs slowly coming down. So you feel exhalation time, ribs are going up. Inhalation time, ribs are going up. Exhalation outside sending time, ribs are coming down, downward or inward. So what will happen? Because of this movements, the thoracic cavity, when ribs are coming down and diaphragm is pushing it up, the thoracic cavity becomes small, decreases in all directions. And what will happen? Thoracic cavity depresses, means just like air balloon is suppressing or pressing, then air comes out. Same way here also, directions compresses lungs. Then that will increase the pressure inside the lungs, then the atmosphere pressure, then to make equal outside and inside the lungs atmosphere pressure, the foul air, whatever air inside the lungs, that will come out. The foul air means carbon dioxide containing air will go out through the lungs, okay, through the respiratory tract, and this is called the inspiration. So these are the diagrams what I wanted to show you here. These are the, okay. Then afterwards you see this one. Okay. Now, so during the breathing cycle, when air is taken in and out, lungs always contain, see, when air is coming in and going out continuously, this process mechanical, you don't know even also when it is coming inside and when air coming inside, going outside. One important point, NCERT also there, and detailed explanation is not given. Always some amount of air will remain in the, even after a forceful expiration also, means forcefully you send air also, some amount of air will remain, always remain in the lungs. Okay, that is the residual volume. That is called the how much air will go out in the expiration. Some air content will remain. Okay, and that air is called, that volume of the air is called residual volume. Okay, so there is sufficient time for oxygen to be absorbed and for the carbon dioxide to be, so exchange of gases will take place. Some air always remains. That residual air volume helps for the normal expiration and inhalation. So when the body size of the, that is the mechanism. How it will take place? Here hemoglobin is there. Hemoglobin takes hemoglobin. Okay, hemo is a molecule. Hemo is a molecule, Hb molecule, and it contains iron, 4 iron. Each iron is able to take 1 oxygen molecule. So 1 hemoglobin molecule means 4. It can take 4 oxygen molecules. Okay, 4 oxygen molecules. So here the arteries, blood and capillaries are there. From here, this epithelium to from this epithelium, the blood hemoglobin absorbs the oxygen, and this is coming from the all the tissues and the whole the body. Okay, suppose if you take the size of animals, large, the diffusion pressure alone cannot take. Suppose our body is very big, so only diffusion is not enough. Okay, instead of that, only exchange. Instead of that, respiratory pigment means just only movement. So this respiratory pigment means hemoglobin helps to absorb the oxygen. Hemoglobin mixes with oxygen, it makes a molecule that is oxyhemoglobin. Okay, same way when the hemoglobin is coming here, it is coming from all the tissues and cells. That hemoglobin taking from the cells and tissues carbon dioxide. So hemoglobin plus carbon dioxide makes a molecule that is carboxyhemoglobin. Okay, so here the carboxyhemoglobin brings, when here oxygen content is more, because of the more oxidant content, the hemoglobin has more affinity towards the oxygen. Then here in the carboxyhemoglobin dissociates, means they separates and releases carbon dioxide into the alveolar sac, because carbon dioxide percentage is less here. Then the free hemoglobin takes the oxygen after diffusion, takes the oxygen and makes a molecule that is oxyhemoglobin. Again it will take, the blood carries the oxygen to the cells and tissues. So the respiratory pigment take up oxygen from the air in the lungs and carry it to the tissues which deficit in oxygen before releasing it. Okay, human beings, what will happen? Respiratory pigment is hemoglobin, as I told you, and it is very high affinity, means attraction towards that affinity. So hemoglobin has high affinity towards the oxygen, and this pigment is present in the RBC, red blood corpuscles. The redness of the blood is because of the hemoglobin. Okay, it is more soluble in water than, so now that is about the oxygen. Now carbon dioxide usually different, not only hemoglobin, different plasma will take and water. So carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than oxygen, so and hence mostly transported in the dissolved form. Okay, in the dissolved form it will be taken in the plasma also, and bicarbonates and all. That is a big mechanism, then a higher class. Okay, now the small part, textbook, your book also given this diagram, this dome like moving up and down, and this one. Okay, the same thing I have, diaphragm up, diaphragm down. Okay, what will happen? Down means cavity will be, lung capacity increases, up means lung capacity decreases. That was mechanism. Okay, another small this thing also, this is about human beings, mechanism of the respiration. Small one more thing about the plants, it is there in your book, respiration about the plants. It is not a very big thing, whatever how much NCERT is given, the small is enough. Plants actually, respiration plants, exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, and these two gases are called respiratory gases. Okay, so first of all, respiration plants, if you see, slightly it is different from the animals. All parts of plant like root, stem, leaf, all they do differently, differs from the in animals and rest. They don't have so many organs and systems. They have only two systems, plants, root system and shoot system. But these parts are there like root, stem, leaf. All these do perform respiration individually. Okay, second step is there is a little transport of gases from the part of plant to another, one part of the plant to, okay, there is a little means there is no transport of gases from one part of the another, unlike in animals, means our lungs will take from their tissue this and that system is not there. So plant respiration slower rate, and then in the animal respiration. Okay, now coming to from the roots of plants take up oxygen that is present in between the soil particles. Okay, so that is why no, it is not necessary that plants transport of oxygen like animals, it has to take place from the one part to another part. So roots also, they do simply diffusion from in between. This is, see here, root hairs, okay, soil particles, air. From this it will take the air and oxygen part. So this is the epidermal cells. If you take, this is the root, this is the root hair, these are the epidermal cells. Okay, epidermal cells, root cells, they have extension. This is the root hair. What is root hair? Extension of the epidermal cells. Okay, so the oxygen diffusions into the root hair. From here the oxygen goes into the root hair and passes into the other root cells. From here it will come to root cells. Okay, and in a similar manner carbon dioxide, from here the carbon dioxide comes, and carbon dioxide, because of the carbon dioxide percentage is less, it will enter outside from the root hair to the to the atmosphere. So here you see, here this one also part, this is stomata, they are present in the leaves. In the that lesson you have seen. So this is the unicellular organism, this explanation I have done, and this is the stomata which are there in the lower part of the leaf. Okay, lenticels also will be there in the stems and all, small stomata found in the surface of leaf, and through this also exchange of gases takes place. Carbon dioxide, see, these stomata can take inside carbon dioxide also, oxygen also, depending upon the need of the plant. Okay, for this is for exchange of gases. When carbon dioxide concentration in the cells increases, stomata opens and it releases into the atmosphere. And when it is normal conditions also, oxygen will diffuse through stomata. So that respiratory gases will take place in the plants, respiration in the plants. Okay, thank you, and please observe video carefully. Some questions only related to video I am going to ask. If any doubt is there, kindly ask me. Okay, don't keep your doubt.